In 2025, we estimate that 139 million Nigerians live in poverty.
These are the damning statistics that have got the Nigerian presidency scrambling for a response. Country Director of the World Bank in Nigeria, Matthew Verghis, delivered the harsh realities during the launch of the latest Nigerian Development Update in Abuja. According to Mr. Verghis, many Nigerians are still suffering.
Most households are struggling with eroded purchasing power. Poverty, which started to rise in 2019 due to policy missteps and external shocks, including COVID, has continued to increase even after the reforms. So the challenge is clear: how to translate the gains from the stabilization reforms into better living standards for all Nigerians. While the tight, data-driven monetary policy, complemented by a non-expansionary fiscal policy, is appropriate to tame inflation, it has evidently not been sufficient. Inflation is coming down, but not fast enough.
Verghis did praise the government for recent steps to stabilize the economy, noting improvement in revenue generation, foreign exchange market stability, rising reserves, and signs of easing inflation. But he also emphasized three urgent fronts that need to be addressed urgently. 1. Controlling food inflation, which he said disproportionately affects the poor. 2. Ensuring public spending is efficient and targeted toward development outcomes. And 3. Expanding and strengthening social safety nets to catch those still left behind. Verghis also warned of the risk that the reform momentum could lose public support if citizens continue to feel left out of the gains. The report, titled "From Policy to People: Bringing the Reform Gains Home," calls for a sharper alignment between macro reforms and inclusive growth. So, with such a significant portion of the population living in poverty, how has the government responded? Well, Nigeria's Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Wale Edun, was also at the launch, and this was his response.
And when we look at 139 million Nigerians in poverty, that is the number one metric that we must aim at, having, as I said, and as the World Bank has showed us, in terms of macroeconomic policy and stabilization, Nigeria has done well. We are still implementing the first stage of the social safety net, the direct benefit transfers. By the end of October, we'll have done about 10 million households, covering 50 million Nigerians. Long before the end of the year, the commitment is to have completed 15 million households.
Minister Wale Edun reaffirmed that the government's reform agenda is aimed squarely at benefiting ordinary Nigerians. According to him, the ultimate objective must translate to lifting Nigerians out of poverty in their millions. He did admit, though, that the measure of success isn't mere macro indicators, but improved living standards for vulnerable Nigerians. He also reiterated previously stated goals that Nigeria needs sustained growth, around 7% GDP growth, to meaningfully reduce poverty. In a separate reaction, Sunday Dare, the special advisor on media and public communications to President Bola Tinubu, took to the social media platform X to refute the figures, saying the figures need to be contextualized. According to him, the 139 million people figure is based on the 2017 Global Poverty Index of $2.15 per person per day. The government may be seeking to manage the damage the World Bank figures have wrought to its self-imposed reputation of an economic game changer. But these numbers speak volumes. 139 million people in more than half of Nigeria's active population, and the divergence between macroeconomic improvement and lived reality